Whatever you need to do to get rid of your insecurities, Prez, that's Ross Benjamin in the background right before the show begun. I'm Lawrence Presman. You're watching Wager Talk Today. We are the best daily sports betting show on the planet. We got one sick freaking lineup and an amazing show. Teddy Covers is going to come on the show right off the bat. And guys, this is a must-listen-to segment. Firstly, Teddy's as good as it gets in breaking down games, but we're going to really take apart the NFL card coming up this weekend, wild card weekend. We're not going to look at it from a micro perspective, game by game. We're going to look at it from a macro perspective. We're going to discuss strategies for betting a wild card week. Teddy does have one NFL play to give out, and then he's got a rant that he wants to go through that I'm excited to listen to. After that, Ross Benjamin is going to come on. Ross is going to try to take shots at me. He's going to talk about how I look like I'm a homeless person and I'm on a flagship show wearing a T-shirt, $110 Viore T-shirt, but Ross doesn't need to know that. And he's also going to look at college football, the Notre Dame Penn State game and Ohio State and Texas. He's got picks for both of those semifinal games. We're going to have Bryan Leonard on, some college hoops and NBA, and we're going to end the show with Gianni The Greek. Welcome, everyone. Andrew, David, Pezzy, B. Diddy. Love you guys. Hit that like button for us, and let's get this underway. Teddy Covers, welcome to Wager Talk Today. How are you, my brother?
Well, Lawrence, so nice to see you, my friend.
Teddy, what did you think of the opening?
Well, I wasn't paying attention. It sounded fine. It went on too long. Yeah, I mean, it was, people don't want a minute and a half. They want, this is what we're going to talk about today. Bang, 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 boom, get in the show. So I graded it a C-.
Okay, you know what? I miss you, Teddy. I'll accept a C-. Ross has gotten to me, Teddy. He isolated my core problem in life, which is my insecurities, and then he made fun of me, and I've been upset ever since. My apologies. So, brother, before we get into everything, nice. You had one great pick yesterday in NFL, and you had Kansas City, and I like Kansas City too, and a lot of people like Kansas City. What the hell happened? They didn't. They just Denver. Literally.
So I missed a key element of the handicap there, and obviously, when you're losing on the wrong side of a 38-0 final, whatever it was, I did not watch that game after halftime. There wasn't much of a need to. That being said, there was something that I missed in looking at Andy Reid's track record in these Week 17, Week 18 games. I thought my part of the philosophy was that Kansas City's been really good in these spots, but going back and re-handicapping as we do after every Sunday night. What did we get right? What did we get wrong? Why did we get it wrong? Re-looking at that game, it wasn't like Kansas City. The particular nuances of Denver needing the win to get into the postseason, that was not a situation that KC had faced before in a Week 17, Week 18, taking an opponent that had to be there. And Denver came to play, and Kansas City did. And it was over early. At least we didn't have to sweat it.
Yeah. I that was my favorite play that I didn't release. So I was like ecstatic.
Well done.
Yeah, and dude, it took everything in my power to not release that play. I'm sitting up Saturday night. It's 1 a.m. I'm doing all my work. And I'm like, I love KC. And then I went and read your analysis. And I'm like, oh, my God, I love it even more. It makes so much sense. And I'm like, Prez, you're on an 11-1 NFL run. Slow it down. You don't need to release a lot of plays. So kept that one off. Ended up with Detroit, the Chargers, and the over in Green Bay. Had a wonderful weekend. Teddy Covers, let's get into some NFL handicapping. So we have all the lines are up, goes over 3-day period. There's some big lines as well, minus 8.5, minus 9.5, etc. Let's talk conceptually. How do you handicap a wild card weekend?
Sure. So And when we talk about an early look at Wild Card Weekend, I want to talk about some playoff betting tips and give a broader analysis than just breaking down one game after the next. Obviously, if you watch the NFL opening line report 1 hour from now, or actually 54 minutes from now, right here on the WagerTalk YouTube channel, we will go through every game on the board for the NFL Wild Card Weekend, myself, Andrew Martin. But for right now, I wanted to talk about a couple of concepts that I look for when it comes to postseason betting, and particularly when it comes to the first round. There's only one wild card weekend system that I've seen that works, and that is everything to do with strength of schedule. Since 2002, when a team has faced a tougher schedule, wild card over there in the regular season, and the official numbers come from Sagarin. I also use my numbers in this mix. But the official strength of schedule numbers, these are 58, 33, and 2 ATS. Just the team that plays a tougher schedule. When they played a much tougher schedule, a difference of 10 points or more, that improves to 32, 12, and 1 ATS. So we're looking for, quote unquote, the battle-tested teams, not the teams who are here because they spent all year beating up on weaklings. That being said, this system did not produce a profit last year. 32 and 12 and 1 long-term on the one, 58, 33 and 2 long-term on the other. But last year it went 1 and 2. So for what it's worth, it has worked very well over the long term. It has not worked. Did not work in 2023. So for this year, we look about the strength of schedule differences. I'm going to talk about Green Bay and Philly. That's one that stood out to me. The Rams played a much tougher schedule, or a tougher schedule than Minnesota, according to these numbers. And the Texans played a tougher schedule than the Chargers did. Those are the biggest differentials when it comes to NFL strength of schedule for this year. But the bottom line is, it tells you what you intuitively already know. The teams that are battle-tested have an advantage. Plain and simple.
So, basically what I'm hearing from you is Houston and Green Bay. What was it? Green Bay had the Rams. Houston and the Rams.
Sure, and Green Bay as well. We'll talk about Green Bay in a minute.
Yeah. But the Rams one does surprise me, Teddy, because, their division have good teams, but it was a division of mediocrity. And Minnesota had to play Green Bay twice and Detroit twice. So I'm surprised by that, but obviously there are 13 other games that I have to take into account. But I am surprised to hear that the Rams had a harder schedule than Minnesota. Green Bay and Philly. Teddy, the line is moving all over the place in this game. I don't want to get corrected from you and yelled at and screamed at for 3 hours. But the line did open up at -3.5. And then it moved to -4.5, and then 5.5, then back to 4.5. Now there's 5s and 5.5s all over the place. What's your early prognosis on this game?
So do you want me to talk about teasers, or should I just get in right into Green Bay, Philadelphia?
Oh, we got to do. No, we'll go back to Green Bay. Let's talk about the teasers because that's an important component.
Yeah, teasers, postseason. Here's my advice. Don't play them. Here's why. All right. The 6 points that you get, or the 7 or the 10 or whatever it is, it works very well in regular season situations where we expect the games to finish somewhere around the point spread. In the postseason, just about every week, there is what we call a teaser killer. One game that goes, or there's an outright upset by a bigger dog, or a complete blow up by the favorite, or it flies over or flies under. I mean, whatever. If you're teasing totals to begin with, you're not getting the best of it. But from a side perspective, there has consistently been what I call teaser killers in the postseason. If I'm betting a teaser, it ain't going to be a 3-teamer, 4-teamer, 5-teamer, maybe a 2-teamer. But year in, year out, you see the teasers fail in the postseason because, and the books make a bunch of money off them, because there are teaser killers out there. There's going to be one this weekend. There may be 2 this weekend that are going to be far, far off from the number, even though, in general, lots of these games will come down right to the wire when it comes to ATS results.
Teddy Covers joining us. Teddy, I'm going to throw a quick question at you. This is a great segment. Many moons ago, Wild Card Weekend was what I referred to as blowout weekend. You know, you had the really good teams playing the teams that just squeaked in, you know, and it ends up being like 40-7 or, 33-10. That has changed of late. Have you noticed that change, or do you still perceive this weekend as sort of that blowout weekend?
No, I don't look at it as a blowout weekend necessarily at all. And again, you and I, we've been doing this, seriously since the 90s. Yeah, well, whatever. I mean, and in the 90s, that's what it was. In the 2000s, or certainly that's what it was. But it has been that way for 15 years, 20 years now. So that's one of those trends that, we made money with it back in the day, but it's a decade in the rearview mirror now, probably longer.
Okay, so Green Bay, money is moving against them. They're playing Philly. What's your early lean here?
So the money's coming against Green Bay, and we understand why. I wouldn't be surprised at more. And, of course, if Love doesn't play, if Love's injury is serious, forget everything I said here. All right, I'm not betting the Packers today. We're going to wait till we get a Love's injury status. All right. That being said, first thing Monday morning, first side I'm looking at is Green Bay Packers, and it starts with that strength of schedule differential. The two teams from the NFC East who are in the postseason, Philadelphia and Washington, they finished 31st ranked schedule, 32nd ranked schedule. All right. They are not what I would consider to be battle tested. When we look through the course of the Eagles season, I think they played 5 playoff teams this year in total. And they had a winning record. I think they went 3-2 in those games. But you go through the game logs for Philadelphia, they were fortuitous to come out with that 3-2 record, including that win over Green Bay on opening night, where the Packers certainly battled with the Eagles. Now there's a narrative out there that Green Bay, they can't win, they're not any good, they're 0-5 against teams, the best team that they faced. So they are 0-5 against the best teams they faced. I get it. That wasn't like they weren't in any of those ball games. They were in most of them. And it's not like there is a fundamental problem with Green Bay right now. They're not like they have, their defense has fallen apart, or their injury results have killed them, or the coaching is stupid, or the quarterback can't make plays. There's no fundamental problem that's haunting the Packers right now. They've just come up short in a good handful of games. And when you get these betting narratives out there, the Packers aren't good enough. Look, they went 0-5 in those games. I'm not buying that. And when you see Green Bay, when you see what they did in the first round of the postseason last year, going on the road and winning at Dallas as 7-point dogs, we're confident that the Packers aren't going to go into that game going, we can't do this. And for all the success that Green Bay has had when it comes to turnover differential this year, you look at the end of the season, Philadelphia is right there with them. Eagles, easy schedule and plus turnover margin. That'll get you a home game in the playoffs. I think Packers are live here, but I'm in no rush to bet it.
Right.
There's plenty of time, and it all obviously, and then the Watson injury. Okay, if Watson's hurt, that stinks. Dobbs was out last week; he was sick. I think they'll be fine. Green Bay's not a team that struggles to fill their receiver depth charts. And again, more than a field goal, I'm interested with the Packers in the wild card round this coming weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it makes total sense to me. Teddy, where are we at with Jalen Hurts' injury?
The latest information on Jalen Hurts is, and what do you have? He had
concussion.
It wasn't anything serious. He's not even listed on the injury report.
Okay. Teddy Covers, you've got a rant. After that, we got Ross Benjamin, both college football games, Bryan Leonard, some college basketball. We're going to end the show with Gianni The Greek and his Steam report. Teddy, the mic is yours.
Sure. So let's talk about NFL futures. And I was asked to give a Super Bowl future. And my pick is Baltimore, by the way, for the Super Bowl future. I found plus 600 on the Ravens right now. If I'm going to make one bet, that would be the bet that I would make. That being said, I think Baltimore is live. What's the best way to play a team like Baltimore? And it doesn't matter if it's the favorite, doesn't matter if it's the dog, doesn't matter if it's a long shot, doesn't matter if it's the team that's going to be favored in every. It really doesn't. When you're talking about Super Bowl futures, the best way to play playoff futures in any sport, the lazy way is you make one bet on the team you expect to win it all. The wise guy way is you bet the team you want on the money line, and you roll it over every week. What does that offer? It offers flexibility to adjust your wager sizes. Hey, I want to step up here. I don't want to risk it all anymore. I've locked in a profit. It means there's no need to hedge if they reach their goal or come close to reaching your goal, like you often do when you play futures. Oh, let's bet it the other way. You're hedging against yourself. When you're doing it the wise guy way, there's no need to do that. And the cumulative payout can literally be twice or more what you get with a standard future book wager. So rather than do it the lazy way, oh, look, I got this ticket, I can Instagram it. Knock yourself out. The sharp way to bet futures is just betting on that team on the money line every week and letting it accumulate. So there's my 2 cents when it comes to Super Bowl futures. You want something to Instagram, knock yourself out. You want to make money, roll it over. Lawrence?
Teddy Covers, thanks for joining us, brother. What do you have to promote?
7 days all access, just $77. That's $11 a day. Just use promo code TEDDY7 at checkout and take advantage of this offer. WT.buzz/TC. We have a pair of NBA winners for tonight and obviously a loaded week. NBA is running good right now, 67% run over the last week and a plus 191 units over the last couple of years. We'll see if we can keep it rolling tonight. 7 days all access. Again, promo code TEDDY7 at checkout. Lawrence?
There we go. Thank you for joining us. Teddy Covers. Ross Benjamin is about to join us. Just a real quick update on how I and my clients did this weekend. We had a big weekend. Went 6-2 on Saturday. Went 5-2 on Sunday. We went 4-1 in NFL. The NFL run is now 14-2. That's 14-2. We won our NHL on Saturday as well. My NHL run is 11-2. That's 11-2. We've also started an NBA run. College hoops was pretty decent. So I'm really excited about what's going on for me and my clients. I have a promo up that requires 0 coupon code, and that is basically buy the rest of my NHL season. I think it's $449, and you get my NFL playoffs on the house. And I'm up profit in NHL, and as I said, I'm on an 11-2 run. I'm really seeing things well right now. Very excited about the upcoming week. So, buy my NHL season for $449 and get my NFL playoffs on the house. Ross Benjamin joining us. Ross, I get on the show today, Ross, and you're like starting with me right off the bat. Like, Prez, you are insecure. Prez, you mocked my sweater while you sat there in a, $2 T-shirt. I'll mock your sweater again if you like.
Go right ahead. Whatever. Listen, I'm at your disposal, Prez, to overcome all the insecurities you have in life, my friend.
You know what, Ross? Not many are better than you. Thank you. It seems like a lot of people need to make fun of me to make themselves feel better. I feel like I'm at your disposal, Ross. So
we help each other out then, Prez. Let's leave it at that. Teddy, good to have you back, my man.
No, Teddy's gone, Ross. Teddy's gone.
Oh, he is.
He doesn't co-host anymore. He's a guest.
Oh,
one at a time.
Got you.
You're a guest. Yeah. And you are going to talk to us about the 2 college football games that are happening this weekend. We have Notre Dame -2 or 2.5. If you're an idiot, you can give the half point to the book. Against Penn State, total of 45. And we've got Ohio State at -6 against Texas. Let's start with the Notre Dame game first. How do you handicap this one?
Yeah, and if you're a complete idiot, you lay 2 points instead of doing it on the money line. There's nothing worse, right, Prez, than winning a game by 1 or 2 points and not coming up on top because you were a 1 to 2 point favorite.
Ask the idiots who took Cincinnati -2.5 instead of this guy who took them at -145.
Yeah, there you go. That's smart betting And that's why you've been doing this as long as you have successfully. Well, here's the thing with this game. Look, I like Notre Dame, by the way. Let's get this out of the way. I like Notre Dame to go all the way. Why? Well, let's start with this. I had them at plus 1,500 to start the season. When I was on with Kelly on another show, she asked me who a sleeper was before week one, and plus 1,500 to me was a sleeper, and I agree with Teddy. At this point, I'm going to hedge a little bit against Notre Dame. I do want them to go all the way, obviously, but I'm in a good position at this point, Prez. Anyway, let's get to my actual pick on this game. I like the total in this contest. Right now, the total is 46. This is a Notre Dame team that in 2 playoff games allowed 17 points and 278 yards to Indiana, 10 points and 296 yards to Georgia. And, if you go back to the Indiana game, Indiana had 3 points going into the last 2 minutes of that game. They scored a late touchdown when Notre Dame was playing soft pass defense. And then they recovered an onside kick and scored another touchdown thereafter. Other than that, they were shut down completely by the Notre Dame defense, which is excellent. Notre Dame has allowed 17 points or fewer in 11 of 13 games this year. They're number 2 in scoring defense, number 6 in total defense, number 4 in pass defense. On the other hand, Penn State's not too shabby themselves, Prez. Number 7 in scoring defense, number 4 in total defense, number 9 in rushing defense, which is huge because Notre Dame has a potent running attack, and Penn State's very good at stopping the run. So it might force Notre Dame to play a little bit left-handed in this game in going against their strength, which is running the ball. Penn State under James Franklin, over the last 3 seasons, anytime they face a team like Notre Dame that allows 14 points or fewer, they played under the total in all 5 of those contests with a combined average of 32.6 points scored per game. Both of these teams have gone under the total in each of their playoff games. Penn State did put up 38 points against SMU, but let's not get carried away, folks. That's a very deceiving 38 points since they only piled up just 315 yards of total offense in that contest, and their defense forced 4 turnovers, which created a lot of short fields for the offense. Notre Dame, by the way, Penn State has forced 7 turnovers in the first 2 playoff games. Notre Dame has only committed 13 turnovers all year, Prez. So if Penn State is going to depend on taking the ball away for short fields or stopping drives, I don't see that being the case in this one. I just think this is going to be a low-scoring affair. I think both teams' defenses will dominate, and I think the offenses will move the ball. But one of those games, it's an old adage, the offense moving the ball between the 20s. I could see many drives being stalled, and also either field goal attempts that are made or not good. So I'm going to go Penn State, Notre Dame under 46.
Yeah, listen, I mean, based on what Notre Dame did last game, who's scoring on this team? And Notre Dame to win it all. Ross Benjamin joining us, everyone. And contrary to popular belief, Ross is a really good dude. Ross, Ohio State -6. Are you going with them or are you going on the dog?
I'm sort of flabbergasted because you said something nice to me. Anyway, we're looking at the total here, which is 53.5. Ohio State, 2 playoff games this year. They faced Tennessee and Oregon. They held Tennessee to 256 yards. Oregon, that high-powered, powerful offense, 276 yards Oregon was held to in that game against Ohio State. Nothing new for the Buckeyes defense, Prez, as they only allowed 129 yards combined rushing in those 2 games. And that's really important because Texas relies heavily on that potent running game they have. And I'm not saying they're going to shut down Texas completely to the type of numbers they put up in the first 2 games in terms of rush defense, but I don't expect Texas to go off either with the running game. This Texas defense is also pretty damn good. They've only allowed 14.5 points per game and 278 yards per game this season. And yes, they did go over the total in their first two playoff games. But you know what? Prior to that, they played 8, 2, and 3 to the under. Again, some impressive numbers for both defenses. Ohio State, number 1 in scoring defense. Number 1 in scoring defense. Number 3 in Texas is number 3 in scoring defense as well. Ohio State, number 1 in total defense. Texas, number 4 in total defense. Ohio State, number 3 in sacks. And Texas, number 4 in sacks. And that's important to me when evaluating the total. I mean, Ohio State has sacked the quarterback 47 times this year. Texas, 44. And both of these teams have great defenses, and they also very good against the pass. These teams are ranked number 1 and 2 in pass defense, and this is a high number when considering all that I just said at 53.5. So I'm going to go under the total of 53.5 in this one, Prez.
Ross Benjamin, Ross, what do you have to promote?
Yeah, college football playoffs. I've made picks in all 8 games this year. 7-1 so far, folks.
Nice.
College football. Yeah. So I'm like you said, Prez, and it's I'm seeing things clearly, and you were seeing things clearly too, even when you were looking at my sweater last week. College football postseason, 38-20. That's what, 65% since 2022. College football overall, number 1 since November 26th of 2022, a record of 146-98 during that time, 60%, a net profit of $11,623. That's number 1 at WagerTalk and money earned in college football. Also number 1 in money earned in college football this season as well at WagerTalk. So I've been locked in with college football, not only during the playoffs, but over the last 2 years, Prez. So a lot of great specials, and check me out at wt.buzz/RB. And always a pleasure to be on with you, my friend.
Love having you here, Ross. Have an awesome freaking day. Ross Benjamin, everyone. Still lots to go. Bryan Leonard and Gianni The Greek. Gianni and I are going to look at a quick look ahead on a wild card weekend in NFL, so stay with us as for that. I got an NHL play to give out for you guys. I'll do it right now. I do have an NHL client play up tonight. I'm on an 11-2 NHL run, and I have 2 college basketball total bets up for my clients. I'm on a 17-5 totals run across all sports. So I got a really strong card today. You can head over to WagerTalk and grab that. Let's get into some actionable info. Tonight, the Seattle Kraken are playing the New Jersey Devils, and the total in this game is 6. Now, very rarely do we see 5.5s, but this is one of those where I think a 5.5 could have been warranted. I really like the under in this game. If you take a look at this game, you've got New Jersey coming in. This team is 14-26 to the under. 14, 26, and 2 to the under. They're one of the biggest under teams in all of hockey. They've also put up no more than 2 goals in any game in their last 4. 2-0, 2, and 2. That's 6 goals altogether in their last 4 games. Defensively, they are doing okay. They're allowing 3 goals in each of their last 3 games, but they've already in their last 10 held 2 teams to 0, 2 teams to 1, 1 team to 2. So 5 of their last 10 games have been 2 or less goals on defense. As for Seattle, this team has been struggling to score all year long. 2 against Edmonton, and I know they did 3-5-5 against Vancouver, Utah, and Vancouver, but before that, they couldn't get above 2 goals. So here we have a Seattle Kraken team that's been struggling to score more than 2 goals in any game all year long, playing against a New Jersey team that's just a stone-cold under hockey team. For some reason, the bookmakers are giving us 6, very lightly juiced to -115. I like the under in this game. Join me. Bryan Leonard joining us. Bryan, it's always nice to see you, my friend. How are you? We need some volume
as I've
from
seen
Bryan
from
Leonard.
Russ. So
Sorry, go ahead.
I said normally I feel bad about picking on you, but after following Russ, I don't feel that I pick on you enough, I guess.
No, dude. You know, listen, when you're 55 and are gifted this head of hair, when you're 55 and are gifted this face, these biceps, the pecs, I need to be made fun of. It's how I find balance as the coolest man alive. So I'm totally okay with it. Okay, Brian.
As Russ would say, you just need to work on your confidence a little bit.
It's the one thing lacking. I could accept that. Let's get into some college basketball. TCU playing Houston tonight. Where are you going in this game?
Yeah, this is a nice game to break down tonight, and because it's a nice comparison. As I did play Houston in their last game, so it'll be nice for our clients to take a look at what we do here. But the Horned Frogs are 8-5 on the season, going 0-2 thus far in true road games. They have not played well on the road. This should be a defensive struggle. TCU ranks 30th in defense, while Houston is the best defensive team in the country. Two really good defenses going at it today, and the line tells you that when you take a look at the total. It also doesn't help the scoring as the Horned Frogs rank 216th in true tempo, while the Cougars rank 355th. So both teams will take it slow. They like to play in the half-court offense, and it works out very well defensively for both these teams if they do that. Now, Frankie Collins is out for the season for TCU. He was their second most accomplished player before the injury. He played 9 games, but he's out for the season now. And so that's going to hurt this TCU team as the year goes on. Houston 10-3 on the year. Their losses coming against Auburn, Alabama, and San Diego State. 3 teams that will be tournament bound come the end of the season. You know, Houston's only 2-3 when they're playing away from home this year, but they're a perfect 8-0 on this court. They've been terrific when they played at home all year long. We backed Houston, as I mentioned last time out, against BYU, and were awarded with a 31-point victory. But that line was only 10 points. Now we're looking at a line of 19. And from our power ratings, we got BYU at 34, TCU at 61. That's not 9 points differential. So while we were getting an advantage when we played BYU, that advantage is no longer there. The advantage is on playing TCU. In what we're expecting to be a low-scoring affair, as I mentioned, I believe the total's in the 120s. I want to take the Horned Frogs here, getting 19 points, and you're never going to go broke getting 19 points in a game that's going to be low-scoring in college basketball. And as I mentioned for Houston, they've been terrific all year at home. Only place to go is down from here. So give us TCU as our best bet today in college basketball.
Bryan Leonard joining us. Brian, we got to keep this show moving. I had stuff to add, but we still got Gianni in the wings. We've got 2 more bets from you coming up. One is on the Magic and the New York Knickerbockers. They are minus 11.5 and a small total of 209.5. How do you suggest we bet this game?
Yeah, I really like this Orlando team coming into the season. A lot of good young players with strong potential. Right now, they're without the Wagner brothers and Banchero, probably 3 of their top 4 or 5 players. This team is running out of gas as the season goes on because of all those injuries. It also doesn't help that Suggs and Harris are questionable tonight. So they've got a lot of players on the injured list going into this game. You go back and take a look at what the Magic did. When they were healthy in November, they peaked. They were great. They won 12 of 13 games, but had just 6 victories in the last 5 weeks. It's also the second game of a back-to-back for the Magic, so it's a tough situation for them. That said, New York was on a 19-4 winning streak until coming up short at Oklahoma City and Chicago the last 2 games, and they are starting a 5-game homestand starting tonight. McBride and Towns are questionable in this game, and early money's come in on the host here. And with the limited Orlando roster, I could see that. But they've already beaten the Magic 3 times this season by margins of 15, 9, and 23 points. But they are 6-3, laying double digits on the year. With only Toronto on deck, we have a slight edge here with the Knicks. But as you mentioned, the line has moved up a little bit because of the injuries. So just a lean right now on the Knicks on something that if you'd have caught it earlier, you could have got a better number on. But this Orlando team right now is struggling, and they're very weak in depth. So, yeah, we'll lean with the Knicks in this one.
Bri, let us know what you got to promote and how to bet the Mavericks Grizzlies game.
I am actually passing today, but we do have that great special going on right now. 3 months, you pay for 3 months, you get the next month for free. That next month is April. And what does April bring us? Baseball. And baseball and hockey is where I made most of my money over the years. I went to Arizona for the Arizona Fall League. I went for a fantasy baseball exhibition where they've had all the guys who write about fantasy baseball all season long. So I learned a lot of new information for this season. So I can't wait for baseball. So if you are looking to pick that up, do that for myself, as well as all of our great baseball handicappers over at WagerTalk. Getting back to basketball today, this will be my top NBA play on the day. Dallas plays at Memphis. And when the Mavericks are a healthy team, they can beat just about anybody. But as we've seen as of late, there are some concerns with depth. Dallas dropped 4 straight, the last 3 by double digits. Obviously, Luka Doncic is out, but now Kyrie Irving has been listed as out for tonight's game. Dallas has had the last 2 days off, but they do host the Lakers tomorrow, and I think they can get that victory at home there. Memphis is dealing with their own problems with injuries. Morant and Smart remain out, but now Bain is doubtful for tonight, and Kennard is questionable. The Tigers themselves are off of back-to-back losses at Sacramento and Golden State, and this is their first game back home after a 5-game trip. We've talked about this many times in the past, especially when you have families. You get back to town, it's tough to get settled in for that first game, and they're usually a little bit overrated. Memphis simply isn't playing well enough to, with their banged-up roster, to lay this type of points here. Even though the Mavericks are playing shorthanded, I like the Mavericks here to keep this one competitive, and we're catching around 5 points in that regard. So give us Dallas plus the points here against Memphis.
Outstanding segment from Bryan Leonard. Thank you, Bri. He's got no plays going tonight, but he did mention our 3-month promo package that we've got going. Buy 3 months, get the 4th for free. That's a really great deal. A lot of you guys have taken advantage of that. Gianni The Greek joining us. And Gianni, we went a little long today. My humble apologies, but I know you're so busy anyway, making trades and doing stuff. So thanks for doing this like always, brother. How was your weekend?
Never better, Prez. I'm having so much fun with this lower volume and absolutely crushing it. Hit my 5% yesterday, 8-3 in NFL, NFL 4% now, 19-11 the last 30 days, number 1 college basketball, number 1 last 30. I'm so excited, Prez. But let me give you real quick actionable information. ATP Auckland just came in. Luca Nardi plus 200. Luca Nardi plus 200 over Flavio Caboli, and then in WTA Adelaide, that's the tournament. We want to take Maya Haddad at plus 200 or better against Madison Keys. These tennis plays have been on absolute fire. If you want to sprinkle, I wouldn't blame you. Best week of football this week, baby. Playoffs and the college football. So we're ready to go. A lot of futures. Oh, want to share this real quickly. I sent out a hockey future, NBA future today. Don't worry, not going to sell it. It's a big bet. I took the Cleveland Cavaliers at plus 950. I got plus 1,000, but the average out there is about plus 900, plus 950. I don't like betting futures because of the hold, Prez, but you can't pass that up. You can't get close to 10-1 on a team that point differential like they have, got the best road record in all the NBA, and it's just so far ahead. To me, I like what I get out of Cleveland. They're the team that's being so overlooked. At 9.5-1, I couldn't pass it up. Bet that this morning.
Guys, Gianni The Greek is on with us every single day. He is on his wrong microphone today. Do not try fix it. It'll only create more issues, but that's why their sound is not perfect. It's not a regular occurrence. So tough through it with us. Gianni, I did do a timeout signal in the middle of that, and here's why. Tell me what is wrong with the following statement. Prez, I'm super pumped about being low volume. Had a great weekend. Went 8-3 in NFL.
No,
that's 11 NFL plays.
No, that's everything. That's everything. That's stuff
okay,
that not
okay.
even. No.
Okay,
That's
okay.
some player props that are 1% that don't even nobody even get. No.
Okay.
Like in the big bets, there's like 4 and 1. No. We
Okay.
really narrowed it down.
I
Thank
went
you.
4 and 1 as well. So both you and I went 4 and 1 on our big bets, and both of us won a game where we were on the opposite side.
How did that happen?
You took Pittsburgh +3, and I'm no moron. I took Cincy on the money line.
You are the man. Great bet. Good bet.
And
good
you,
bet.
and you, brother, and you. Gianni, let's take a quick look at Wild Card Weekend. I want to hear. Listen, we'll go into your opinion on stuff later on, but let's tell us what's going on, what you're hearing from the syndicates, where the line might end up, what bets we should make now, what bets should we wait for, that type of a thing.
On Saturday, the biggest risk for the books is going to be the LA Chargers, the road favorite LA Chargers. I'm surprised that hasn't got juiced yet on the 3 or even higher than that. The fact that you got 3 minus 105 is a little bit surprising, which tells me that there are some sharp bettors that are looking to take Houston at plus money. I don't really disagree with that. Both games already got steamed under by the sharp bettors. More importantly, it's that Pittsburgh-Baltimore game that sticks out because they steamed that under 46, under 45, and then came back and bet a little more at under 44.5. That's why I think you're looking at 43.5 across the screen now. Surprisingly, though, with that same bet, they took Baltimore. So they're like Baltimore minus 8.5 and 9. 9 was what we laid. And then they also went under. So they are not expecting much from this Pittsburgh Steelers team on Saturday. On Sunday, we haven't bet anything so far on these Sunday games. What sticks out to me is the Philadelphia side. Immediately money came in on Philadelphia. And as a lot of bettors know, because I put it out there, and make sure you check it out on Greek_Gambler on Instagram, because I'm giving away free money, a $3,000 or $3,500. And the one future I didn't bet was the Eagles. I think they're the only ones that offer a little bit of value before these playoffs begin. And yeah, they're getting some steam so far. That's what's sticking out early on. But I think over these next 24 to 48 hours, Prez, is when you'll see these betting syndicates take bigger and bigger positions. But the ones they bet immediately were those unders in the Saturday games.
Right. Gianni The Greek joining us. Gianni, Notre Dame, Penn State, Ohio State, Texas. These are 2 big football games, obviously. And they happen before Wild Card Weekend. One's on Thursday, one's on Friday. What's going on with those?
The betting public has not spoken yet. Almost 90% of what I'm sharing with you is from sharp accounts that I'm looking at. And here's what they did. They bet Notre Dame at the opener. They bet Notre Dame and under at the opener. No surprise, there's some recency bias there. The key is, are they going to hold the bet? Both teams are coming off 2 straight unders, but don't forget, 3 of those 4 were higher than 50. That's what the total was set. So you see a big adjustment at 47, and they still went under. And that's why we're looking at 45 there in Ohio State and the over. This is in Ohio State game. This is what sticks out to me. And I have a future on Ohio State that it took 5 minutes for them to buy up that 7 on the Ohio State, on the Texas side. Forgive me. They immediately came in and took the 7 offshore. The regular books here didn't open it, Press, to about 6.5. Offshore that had the guts to post that 7, it got bet up immediately. Yep. And the under as well. Within 30 minutes, it went from 57 down to 54. So that move was just sharp. Since then, it's been hovering around that 54, 53, 53.5, 54. We're going to see when the public gets involved what they do if they push it back up. But the wise guys definitely took the 7 on Texas. They bet the game under at the opener, and they did the same with Notre Dame and the under. So that's what we're looking at so far. But as I said, the big money will come in later in the week because the public money will overwhelm any sharp money that the books have.
There we go. Gianni The Greek, tons of information. He's here with us every single day. Gianni, what's going on in hoops and NHL tonight in your Steam report?
So far, nothing in the NHL, but we do have 2 college basketball added board games. If you got leaned, you may want to get down. I didn't send either as premium plays. 306-663 Mississippi Valley State plus 18.5 and 18, and 306-665 Southern -3, 3.5, and -4. Those are the two early bets that they got down so far in college basketball. I just hit refresh just to see, just in case anything else came in, because you know how much I love you, Prez, and more importantly, all the support we get. Go down there, smash that like button. Make sure you ask any questions, because again, 2025, let's have a big year. Nothing else new, Prez, so you're good to go, brother.
Gianni, I haven't checked out Bitcoin in 3 days. Lo and behold, It went up 3,500 today, 3,101,000 US. That is so spectacular. What's your prognosis on that coin this coming year?
Listen, if not for the Trump bump, I think we've already would have seen a decline in the stock market and in crypto. But anyone making money, God bless you. I'm glad if you've risen it up. But I'm going to share this. Never in the history of Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett's company, have they had this big of a reserve of cash, meaning he's watching the market continue to climb and he's taken all his cash out and actually said, we have a plan for 2025, and it's not to invest in overvalued stocks and commodities and stuff like that. We're going to wait for the crash. Eventually, something does always crack and break. And I think, again, don't leave profits. If you made your money, no one ever went broke taking a profit. I learned my lesson in 2020 when I became a millionaire and not won about 6 times because I didn't take profits. And I learned my lesson. I urge you, nothing goes straight up. Nothing goes straitt up. Take a little out. Nothing's going to hurt. Nothing hurts with taking a little out.
Well, where are you going to put it? Keep it liquid.
Cash, put it in a 5.5%. They're giving you a nice interest rate right now. And wait for the damn. I mean, again, I'm hoping I'm wrong, Prez. I swear to God, I hope I'm wrong and nothing bad happens. But you know how that goes.
So listen, we got to run, but I want to say a couple of things. Firstly, we expected a crash last year. I did 39.46% in the market. 39.46% in the market.
Awesome.
We expected a crash last year. We expected a crash the year before. I did 21% in the market. So it's tough. From my perspective, I don't think anyone should pull. In regards to Berkshire Hathaway, I'm with you. I get what you're saying. However, Warren Buffett is around 90 years old. He's in the middle of transitioning his company to his Jedis or his Pashwans or whatever you want to call them, Patois, whatever. The people he has trained, the next generation. And I think that one of the main reasons that Berkshire is as liquid as it is because they are getting ready for a transition to a new manager who should have a blank slate to start his thoughts and processes.
Can I please just leave you with this? Please, please, please. On November 4th, before the election, Tesla was $202. Within 4 weeks, Tesla got up to almost $500. What happened in those 4 weeks to make a $1 trillion company double in value? That's the stuff that worries me. Again, if you made that money off it, God bless you. I hope you did. But again, I can't see a company doubling in value like that size in 4 and 8 weeks and having it feel legitimate.
Well, I have 0 Tesla. So conceptually, listen, in a micro perspective, those companies, short them. I agree. Listen, we got to run. Gianni, I could go all day with you. I love you, man. Guys, thanks for watching this show. So much fun. Tomorrow we got Ski Prophet, Adam Trigger, Andy Lang, and Gianni the Greek back with us. Make sure to bet my plays tonight. 2 NBA, 2 college basketball, and 1 NHL. Lots of love, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.